The longer you stay there, you realize, or I realized that we're different from the people there. First fact is that we're black. So people started looking at us, and um, they notice we're different. We notice we're different, of course. And in the beginning, you don't realize that much. But then the longer you stay there at school, my brother and I, we were the only black kids there. Then you notice in that area, in that region, we were the only black kids. People were looking at you, saying bad words to us. So we were always glad to see black people. You know, when we saw black people, hey, hello, you know. And then you start realizing your situation, and then you start also digesting the past, what happened in Civil War, um, and and then you get into puberty and start changing and start to find out who are you, and apart from the fact that you are changing and trying to identify yourself, you get into a kind of identity crisis. On top of that comes, am I German? Am I Oromo? I'm black. Everybody's white. All these things come together. Yeah.
Imagine that would be very confusing. I mean, I was lucky enough. I was born and raised in Ghana until I was 17. I was going back and forth to the UK, but I went to live in the UK when I was 17. And when I got to the UK, not only was there, the differences between the white people and the black people, that was the first time I actually realized that, it hit me that I'm black. Like before, when I was in Ghana, that wasn't a conversation for me.
No, nobody cares
Nobody cares.
because there's no
There's
racism
no
you
race.
experience in a daily
Exactly.
life because everybody looks like you.
Exactly.
Yeah, speaks your language and all
Speak
that.
everything is like
Yeah.
pretty much homogenous. And when I went to college in the UK, I also realized that there was a bit of a tension between the Caribbeans and the African people.
Of course.
And that blew my mind because for a few months I didn't notice it. I just noticed the people. So some black people in the college were a little bit ruder than others. And a friend pointed it out to me, and because of my naivety, I hadn't noticed it because I'm from Africa. I'm from Ghana, proud Ghanaian, so I didn't care who thought less of me or anything. I knew who I was. So I can imagine for my friends who were born in the UK, like my siblings who were born in the UK, my brother was pretending to be Jamaican.
Because they were cooler than
They
us.
were cooler than us.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Because that's what I thought as well. When I was young, we grew up in close to Bremen. And that was like half an hour away from our place. And in Bremerhaven, which is further north from Bremen, there was an U.S. Army base, and all the Black Americans there, the African Americans were there. And when we met them in clubs or going out, when I was 16, I saw Curtis Blow the first time.
Oh wow.
On a concert, and you see all these fit brothers, dancing cool and all that. I wanted to be like the Black Americans, and I thought they were all cooler than us from Africa. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in the UK. It was Jamaica. I mean, to be honest, it's really recently that because of the exposure to more African culture on the social media and the how big Afrobeat has gotten.
Yeah.
Now there's more camaraderie and there's more like
Yeah, that's the
equal.
way it should be,
Yeah, exactly.
And we shouldn't think one is better or less than the other. We're just different, and share also. Oh, there are things we can share. Yeah.
So how did that experience shape you as a person?
Which experience exactly?
The experience, you moving into a small village, not really finding out that you're different and growing up and trying to figure out who you are. I'm sure there were some experiences in there where you probably didn't fit it in some spaces. Did that shape you as a person at all?
Of course, it did shape me. I think that shapes the environment in which we grow up shapes us for sure, and trying to be a part of the society, of the environment where you live, shapes us as well, because um, you want to participate in whatever takes place there, and that's what I want to do. And so you try to be better, you try to fit in, you play this game of fitting in. Then you leave one part of your identity outside. Um, and so you have to shift from one community to the other, so to the white German community or to the Oromo community, for example.
Yeah.
And there are different rules and different ways of interacting and living together. So if I look back, I think it was good for us to grow up in a countryside because it's more peaceful. But I wished I had more contact to other young black kids or youngsters, um, to identify also with a young black community. This is something I missed at that age. Um, but you can't change it,
Yeah.
looking back, it's the way it is, and you have to try to make the best out of it.